Hey, Sarah.
Whoa, Ozzy, you reek.
You know I reek. I've been playing so many games with my Games Freedom Pass, I have had zero time to shower.
No extended viewing fees with your Games Freedom Pass. Rant, buy, game your way at Blockbuster.
Sweet, we're closing early.
Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? So this is going to be a bit of a controversial video, but I just don't have any nostalgia when it comes to Blockbuster. Now I know I always talk about the 90s and 80s and stuff, and I know Blockbuster was like an infamous thing in the 90s. It was, you know, everywhere, but me personally, I just don't really have any nostalgia for it. And I mean, I see why it was a thing in the 90s. I mean, how cool could it be to, you know, rent video games and movies and shit? You could rent a bunch of movies and a bunch of games and return it the next day. That sounds pretty cool. But unfortunately, I've never got to experience Blockbuster. I think I've been there once. That was when I was a kid. So I've never personally got to experience Blockbuster, but what I did experience was Gamefly and Redbox. That was essentially Blockbuster for my generation, I guess. With Gamefly, you could essentially, you know, pick out a game that you want, they mail it over to you, you can play it for a couple of days and return it. Or with Redbox, it's basically the same thing, but you have to go to like a physical location. And then of course, Netflix was a thing. You know, instead of going to Blockbuster a lot, I remember, you know, renting a bunch of movies from Netflix, having it mailed over to my house. But looking back on it now, it doesn't really hold as much nostalgia as people do for Blockbuster. I mean, mailing movies in from Netflix that maybe have some nostalgia, you know, give it a couple of years, I don't know. But yeah, I've honestly never got to experience Blockbuster. And I guess one cool thing about Blockbuster is it had exclusive games like Clay Fighters for the N64, you had Beast Wars, you had Red Hot Volleyball, and a couple other games that were a Blockbuster exclusive. And apparently one thing you could have done with Blockbuster was like rent out consoles and shit, and that still sounds cool, though unfortunately I'd imagine most of the consoles were bent and out of shape considering how many people use them. And you gotta imagine like the N64 cartridges, and then when it came to PS2 disc, all of this might have been scratched. The N64 cartridges may not have worked considering, you know, again, how many people use them. But I don't know, even with all that, I'd imagine, you know, Blockbuster was still a good option back in the day considering how expensive N64 games were when it first came out. I mean, jeez, imagine paying $70 for an N64 game. Well, then again, it was the late 90s when the N64 was sort of like the new thing, I guess. But still, though, damn. No wonder the PS1 sold more consoles. Anyway, I'm getting away from the main point of the video. Now, would I still, like if Blockbuster came back today, would I still like to experience it? Of course. But then again, if they did somehow come back, it wouldn't be the same as it was in the 90s and shit, but still. It's sort of messed up, but I actually found out about Blockbuster when they were just closing down. I remember hearing the news, oh yeah, Blockbuster's going out of business. They were gonna do something similar to a Redbox. I mean, again, I'm just hearing about Blockbuster and it closed down, and I think the only Blockbuster near me was like a couple miles away, at least at the time. So I mean, it's kind of weird how I found out about Blockbuster, but you know, still. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is gonna be one of my video remakes. If you look, when my channel first started, I made a video about Blockbuster, saying how I dive nostalgia for it. And some of my opinions changed, some of them didn't, so I decided to remake this video, and I'm actually going to be remaking some of my other videos. If you want to, look forward to that. And if you want to, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, no rush. And tell me down below, what did you think of Blockbuster back in the day? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.